Now let us see how the thermal stresses are acting on bars of two different materials or three different materials. Like what we have studied for composite bars subjected to external loads, here also composite bars can be subjected to change in temperature also. So if you just recollect what happened to composite bars subjected to external loads, we have got two compatibility equations. Like you equated the strains of the two different materials, that is sigma 1 by E1 is equal to sigma 2 by E2. Similarly, the total load acting on the bar is shared by the different materials, that is capital P is equal to P1 plus P2 plus P3, whatever it is. So similarly, with those two conditions you could solve the stresses occurring in the composite sections. But now here you are going to take up thermal stresses acting upon a composite bar. So here I have taken two different materials, that is steel and copper, and steel has got area of cross section of AS, Young's modulus ES, and coefficient of thermal expansion alpha S. Similarly for copper, you have got the cross sectional area as AC, Young's modulus as EC, and coefficient of thermal expansion as alpha C. So if you examine the property of the particular material, it is subject to temperature change, and you know that in the case of these two different materials, one is having greater coefficient of thermal expansion than the other one. So here we know that coefficient of thermal expansion for copper is greater than coefficient of thermal expansion of steel. So what happens here is, if it is subjected to a rise in temperature of T degrees centigrade, this is going to expand on its own. So steel will expand to a certain extent. Similarly, copper also will expand. So since alpha C is greater than alpha S, copper will extend more than that of steel. So we can just note down what is the expansion over here. This is equal to alpha C into G into L. This is the free expansion of copper. Similarly, here for steel, you will have the free expansion of steel as equal to alpha S T into L. So this particular thing happens only if this is free to expand. But you are going to say that this particular bar is restricted for a certain limit over here. Say I will just write it as I will just mark here this as your section, say XX, right? So what happens here is, there is a restriction over here, so that this particular two different materials cannot either expand or contract beyond this point. So what happens here is, this steel is only expanded up till here. So this is the gap. So this gap has to be taken care of by the steel bar. That means this steel has to be pulled to reach this particular position, so that a particular stress sigma S has to be developed in the steel, so that this bar is pulled to reach this section XX. Similarly, this copper bar has expanded beyond this section XX, so that this copper bar has to be pushed inwards. That is a compressive stress to be developed here, so that stress will be equal to sigma C, right? So here sigma S will be a tensile force and sigma C will be a compressive force. So this will be equal to, if the stress is sigma S, you can write it as sigma S by ES is the strain into the length will give you the compression required for, pull required for steel. Here compression required for copper is this much portion. This much portion will be equal to sigma C by EC into L. So these are the deformations developed. So we will explain once again. This is the composite bar made up of steel and copper. Steel has got the area of cross section as AS, Young's modulus as ES, and coefficient of thermal expansion as alpha S. Similarly for copper, area of cross section is AC, Young's modulus is EC, and coefficient of thermal expansion is alpha C. So we already know that coefficient of thermal expansion of copper is greater than that of steel. So copper will expand more than that of steel if it is a rise of temperature of T degree centigrade. So initially you are giving a rise of temperature of T degree centigrade and it is free to expand. So what happens here is the steel will expand for this much length, that is equal to alpha C T into L. Similarly, copper will expand this much, that is alpha C T into L. So I am going to tell that this is not able to free to expand, or it is being restricted at a section XX. That is, it is restricted. There is a rigid support is provided here, so that it cannot either expand or contract beyond this position. So what happens here is the steel has expanded only till here, but it has been pulled to the section XX. So this much deformation has to be given by applying a stress sigma s, that is will be a tensile stress. So that means this much of portion of deformation has to be developed to keep it in this particular position. So the stress developed in steel will be sigma s, and that will be a tensile stress. That tensile stress divided by Es will be your strain, multiplied by the length will give you the deformation required. So this much will be the pull required sigma s, due to that the elongation required is this much. Similarly in copper, what happens here is this has deformed beyond the particular section, so it has to be pushed in. So it has to be pushed in for this much area, this much length. So this much length will be computed based on the stress developed, that will be a compressive stress, and that compressive stress is sigma c. That sigma c by EC will be the strain into length will be the push required and the deformation to be compressed here. So you have reached this particular section XX. Now how to solve for the sigma s and sigma c? Let us see here. Now as you know here that there are no external loads coming here. I have told you there is a pull provided in steel bar and there is a push provided in copper bar. So since there are no external loads, for equilibrium, force has to be balanced. So the pull required in steel has to be equal to the push required in copper. So you get force PS has to be equal to PC, or you can say that sigma CS into AS will be equal to sigma C into AC. That is your equation number 1. That is, force in steel will be equal to force in copper. One will be tensile, the other will be compressive. So sigma S into AS, that is in terms of stresses, you get the first compatibility equation. Next condition is you are just taking the section XX. So at XX, what is going to happen for the elongations occurred? So if you take the steel bar, at this XX, you will have the alpha STL plus this term. So you will have here alpha STL plus sigma S by ES into L has to be equal, because you are restricting this section. So at this section the deformation is same for both. So here what happens, alpha C TL has already gone minus this particular value. So you will have here alpha C TL minus sigma C by EC into L. That is the second compatibility equation. If you rearrange the terms, you will have alpha STL. You have got it, you can take to the other side. So it is minus plus alpha CTL is equal to, you can take this one this side. So we have sigma S by ES into L plus sigma C by EC into L. So I have taken sigma S by ES into L plus sigma C by EC into L on this side, and here this one. So we will have here alpha C minus alpha S into T into L is equal to sigma S by ES into L plus sigma C by EC into L. This is your equation number 2, right? So since alpha C is greater than alpha S, I have taken like this, equal to sigma S by ES into L plus sigma C by EC into L. So from this equation 1 and 2, you can solve for the stresses in copper and steel. So I will explain this part once again. That is, you are restricting the section XX. So for getting this much extension up to xx, you have got this much extension over here. That is what you are going to compute. That is alpha s TL plus this small one. That is alpha s TL plus sigma s by Es into L. That is for steel. For copper, you have got the total as alpha C T into L minus this particular value. So that is alpha C TL minus this one. So if you take up the whole thing, alpha C TL, you are taking minus this one. This will be equal to sigma S by Es into L. This will come to this side plus sigma C by Ec into L. So rearranging this, we will get alpha C minus alpha S T into L is equal to sigma S by Es into L plus sigma C by Ec into L. If the length of the two bars are same, you can cancel off L if it is common. Otherwise, you have to use the appropriate equations. That is the analysis of composite bars subjected to thermal stresses.